Mike, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
Oh, man, what's good, man? Appreciate you guys having me this morning.
Yeah, man. Look, I have so much that I want to talk to you about, but we'll kind of start very recent and then maybe expand a bit. When you're talking about spring ball and coming out of spring ball, Mike, it seems like you were one of the names because this is a fresh slate spring, right? New staff, new all that. And it seems like you were one of the names, as was consistently being mentioned, that really shined out, really taking the middle linebacker position. How did you feel this spring went for you personally?
Yeah, man, I feel like this spring went as good as I probably could have hoped. I learned a lot, man. Got to work with Coach House a good little bit, man, and learned actually a whole bunch, man. And I feel like just being with him and being able to spend time with him and getting to his mind and understand how he wanted his backers to play, man, that took my game to a whole nother level, man. I don't even know if I could say, like, to a level I've played before, man. I feel like it's been hard to – not hard, but, you know, it is challenging to be consistent at the same level, man. And I feel like, you know, I was bringing it almost every day, if not every day. And so, yeah, man, I would say the spring was great, man. Learned a lot. The whole defense got a lot better. Whole team got a lot better. And it's just a great start heading into, you know, the summer and getting ready for the season.
Well, and so you kind of lead me into my next question, which I want you to expound on, and that is Coach House, right? Because outside looking in, you know, we thought that Coach Baker did a great job, and there's been so much turnover at that position recently that can be so tough as a player to deal with. But then you get a guy like House, who's been doing it on the NFL level, on the best NFL team. Just how different was that, coach? Or maybe how has Matt House, how did he separate himself? How did he teach you so much?
Yeah, I would just say the big thing with me, like in Coach House, is I think like the biggest thing that he emphasized, man, was communication. And it is different than any team or any defense I've been on, you know. I feel like most of the times I've been in school, like, you know, the communication is kind of like ran through really just the mic, and he calls it, and that's it, you know, and it's not a lot of calls. You know, you get the call in from the coach, and your mic will say it, and then you run it. Like, man, Coach House has, like, opened my mind up to, like, how much communication you can have to play, and, like, the keys that will give you throughout the play, man, like, it's literally been mind-opening, man. And so, like, I'm literally talking, you know, to guys throughout the whole play, and it's not even just me. Like, I speak with the secondary, I speak with the ends, you know, like, it's really just a whole bunch of, man, communication, and that just can help you take your game to a whole nother level. And of course, he's taught me, like, you know, plenty of things about being like a linebacker, you know, a real linebacker. But, man, I would just say the communication side of things has changed my game, you know. It just, like, gives you a tool that, like, you just can't do by yourself. You can't play every play by yourself. You know, if I know this guy has this and he knows that I have this, you know, we can tell each other about what we see and make each other's job so easy. But you don't even have to stress throughout the play. I already know he's going to let me know if this happens, and I'm going to let him know if this happens. So when it happens, we already been ready for it, you know. And you just continue to build, like, you know, the way you communicate with guys, man. And it's literally just changed. It's changed my game.
Hey, Mike, last year you and I were watching film together,
That's
and
awesome,
it was
by the way.
really,
That's a good answer.
yeah, when you were kind of moving all around the place, and it was around the Ole Miss Alabama game, and you were doing whatever you had to do, right? The coaches were lining you up in multiple spots. We know what you did at Clemson. You were playing like a nickel linebacker, so you've moved all over the place. You have shown the coaches that you can be versatile. But during the spring, I mean, you were a stack backer. You were a Mike linebacker. You were there in the box. So for you, is that what you would kind of expect moving forward within this defense? Do we expect to see some versatility? Or do you say, hey, no, I came here to play middle linebacker, and that's what I'm focusing on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure for everybody else's plans, but like you said, I came here to play Mike linebacker. I came here to play linebacker in the box. Now, and I'm sure we can get a little crazy when it gets to, you know, the packages and stuff on third down. You know, you can. Yeah. I feel like you can show some crazy looks because I have been able to do things like that in coverage and, you know, in other positions whenever I was at Clemson. So, you know, you can always play, you know, mind games like that. But, you know, on the downs where it's not third and long, I'm expecting to be the Mike linebacker for all those snaps.
Hell yeah.
Hey, and also you were talking about before in your answer, talking to the secondary and talking to the defensive line. Now, the defensive line mostly were guys that were here with you a year ago, and Jaqueline and BJ and Guillory and those cats, right? So you have a relationship with them. But the secondary, it's all coming in from somewhere else, coming in from Arkansas, coming in from Louisiana, Lafayette, different places. Now you know what it's like to be a transfer, to try to create that chemistry with your teammates. So how has that been? How is integrating those transfers in the defensive backfield? You're the Mike linebacker. You're the voice there in the huddle, in the locker room, things like that. How has that transition been?
Man, it was actually way more smooth than I could have thought. I looked at those guys' transitions like they were mine, trying to move from position to position. But, when you really think about it, they weren't. This is what they've been doing, since they've got to school. This is what they've been mastering the craft at. And this is why they came to LSU. They came to LSU to come and play at these positions and play, and go to the NFL. Yeah. And so, man, like the whole group, man, everybody who just came in, who transferred, even the young guys who, just may not have been getting all the opportunities last year. When I tell you, everybody just raised the standard, man. And now I'm literally on the field, and I would be surprised, like, hearing some guys talking like, dude, how are you this comfortable, this quick, man? That was just kind of like the thing for all the guys, man, especially all the transfers, man. Those guys came in on a mission. I felt like I had been playing with them, like even early on in spring ball, I felt like our communication was at the point where I'd been playing with these guys, since I first got to school. It was like it didn't miss a beat. And man, I just think that speaks to the guys that we brought in, the guys Coach Kelly brought in, man. These guys are all locked in and came to play at LSU this year. It's good to see that mindset. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, those dudes came in ready.
Well, and so let's talk about Coach Kelly a bit. I don't want you to speak ill of the dead, right? It was the last era was great until it wasn't, and it seems like obviously things had gone awry. But what has that transition been like to a new head coach? And not just to a new head coach, but LSU for the first time in really 20 years, Mike, hitting like a full reset, like a full cultural building reset. I mean, me and Jake love Tommy Moffitt. Everybody does, but even down to Tom, like everybody, a full reset. What was that process like? And, how do you think Coach Kelly was able to kind of find success within that transition period?
Yeah, man, it was really weird at first. I feel like, I'd be so used to my strength coaches because you see them almost every day. And so that was like the big change for me.
Yeah.
Because, especially I'm a linebacker too, so I'm in the weight room all the time. I'm going by there, even if I'm just walking by to go there and say what's up to everybody. But yeah, that was different, and it just, I don't even know like how to like explain the feeling, but we were just like all knowing that like it's all finna change. And so until like everything changed, we kind of were just like, not necessarily nervous, but we just didn't know what was going on. We didn't know, what was going to be different. But they started bringing Coach Flint, and when they came in, that's when I realized, okay, you know what, this is going to be good. This is going to be good because and Coach Moffitt, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
But man, Coach Flint, man, those dudes, I feel like they're on like the same like level of like just the way they do their job, man, and just great at it. Great people, great dudes, and so just intentional with the work we're putting in, with the things they're saying to us, with the kind of character they're trying to build within the team. And so as soon as they brought them in, I knew we were going to be all right. I knew they were going to, do the best thing for the whole team with every pick that they brought, or not pick, but every coach that they brought in.
Yeah.
It was a little weird, but Coach Kelly, man, he came out and told us his standard, and he has, the proof to back it up. The man has won, everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
And so I felt like at least for, me and, the other leaders on the team, man, it was easy to buy into, what he was saying to us. And, once you get a couple guys, the guys that are out in front of the team, it's easy for everybody else to fall in. But, yeah, I would just say, man, he came in and convinced us that – not convinced us, but, we believed him when he said he really wants to graduate champions and that we could do it too. We just had to buy into the standard. And, we got that done, and now I feel like things have all been going pretty smooth, man. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad and appreciative of all the guys they brought in, and I'm excited.
All right, Mike, I know you got to get to a workout, so I've got one last one for you here. Let's flip on the other side of the ball. Let's talk about some of these offensive guys you just went against in the spring. Give us a couple of names that, hey, maybe gave the defense some trouble, or maybe some guys that flash for you as far as offensive guys that we can look forward to seeing in the fall.
Yeah, man. I think, of course, you got to start with, the opposite side from me directly, the running back, man. John Emery, I think he's going to have a really big year. He is such a shifty guy. I don't even know if I've seen, a guy this shifty, at least at his size,
right,
since I've been in college. He's a great guy, man, great player, consistent every day. Really, man, the whole offense, man, I'm not going to lie, we were all going at it the whole spring. There was never a point where I felt like, it was, just one side completely winning, for a period of time. We might have guys win one day, but we were battling, every single day we were out there. And so, I can't even really just get some specific guys because we were going at it. All the quarterbacks played well. I feel like the offensive line, all of them got better, throughout the spring went. Of course, Armani, he was toting that ball too, running that ball too. It's plenty of guys, man. I would just say the whole offense as a whole, man, has gotten so much better. And, I would expect them to come out and, continue to stay on that trend.
Mike, I have goosebumps right now. This sounds like a team that is locked in, man. You are fantastic on the mic as well. We have to have you back on. I could talk to you for probably the whole 3-hour show. We will let you go now, but we have to get you back on soon, Mike. Thank you so much, man. You have a great day. Kick ass in the weight room.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.
Mike Jones, Jr., leader, Mike linebacker. That is the vibe that I want out of my Mike linebacker. So I'm not exaggerating about the goosebumps thing.
No, last year we did film studies. I think we did 8 or 10 of them. I don't remember, but he was incredible. We had him.
Yeah, where have they? He's been hiding that light under a bushel, or at least we haven't been able to.
I'll go back and I'll send it to you. He was incredible, and just hearing him talk defense and hearing him talk coverages, because he's got a unique perspective on it. He's played in the box Mike linebacker, but when you play nickel linebacker, you got to know coverages. You got to know quarters. You got to know quarter hash. You've got to know cover 3. You have to know all of it. I mean, you're a part of it. It's not like, hey, I'm a linebacker, I'm going curl to flat. No, I mean, I'm playing nickel out here, so I've got to know and have the ability to do so. He understands football at a very high level. We sat there. It was supposed to be, I think, 15 minutes. We looked up and we were an hour and 5 minutes in.
Wow.
We were just sitting there. We were talking ball.
I can see it. And now you combine that guy with Matt House.
That's right.
And NFL teaching. And, well, let's react. We got to go to break, and then we'll react on the other side. OC.